Hi, my name is Robert Owens. I'm the CEO and owner of Louisiana LED, or LA LED. I wanted to go over a little bit with you guys to let you know how I do business and how this company does business and why you should choose LA LED over other LED manufacturers that are out there. I want to give you a little bit of my background. Basically, I owned a high-end custom home automation and lighting control company for 9 years before selling it in 2009. What I did was we worked with some of the wealthiest people in the state. I worked with some of the top designers in the country, as well as some of the top architects in the country. All that experience combined, I learned a lot about what it takes to install things, what it takes to maintain things, what it takes to make things function in a capacity that they're not bothersome because they keep breaking or something keeps going out or something like that. And I've taken that out of that industry as the installation company, and I put it into what we do at LA LED. Basically, we had to work with products that were designed for a specific result, but never really designed for installation. I can't tell you how many times we went and put in something that was extremely expensive, thinking that it would be wonderful, and the customer already paid for that one time. And then all of a sudden, it would take us 8 to 12 hours to install it. And then if it ever broke, it was another 8 to 12 hours to take it out, 8 to 12 hours to put it back in. And it just became this cycle of bad customer service from my end as an installation company. I have kept that mentality, that sympathetic mentality with people that are having to put it in or maintain it, in what we've done design-wise with LA LED. If it doesn't install easy, if it doesn't maintain easy, and in the event that there is a catastrophic failure, if it doesn't replace easy, then everything we're doing is for nothing. The whole point now in LED lighting is to conserve electricity, to make things actually save money. When you have a tough installation, you have things that continuously break, or you have things that just are impossible to maintain, it becomes a customer service issue, and basically we sold a lie to the customer, and I don't like that. So everything that I focus on when we're working on the lighting is it's designed for installation. I start with, how are we going to put this in? How are we going to replace this bulb? Or how are we going to replace this fixture? And it has to be simple. What I want is, if you have to have an electrician for the first time you hook it up, no big deal. But if you have to have an electrician the second or third time, if something catastrophic does happen, then the customer's lost their return on investment. You've more than likely, as the installation company, have lost your profit. That simply doesn't sit right with me, because I know the pain of doing that. And so I make sure that if we put it in, it's going to work. And then if it does have a catastrophic failure, because I'm realistic, it's electronic, and there's lightning storms and tornadoes and all of the things like that, that it needs to be that the lowest paid person in the company should be able to maintain these lights. If not, there's something wrong. And so that's part of what I've put into this. It's coming from an installation point of view rather than a manufacturer's point of view. I then take how we need to replace it, and we engineer backwards from there. What do we need to do? Can I even do it? And I won't release anything until I know that it's capable of replacing what we are trying to replace in the correct application. Because we can throw out something that's just a bulb for the sake of saying, hey, we have this shaped bulb, but if it doesn't actually do what we say it's going to do, or it doesn't actually replace the lights that are on the market, it doesn't do any good. And that bothers me as well. The other thing is, I want to let you know that I focus on quality. And what that means to you is, I don't just buy stuff from China and redistribute it. What we'll do is, I may find a housing that I like that's overseas in Asia, and I know that after testing it, that the metal on there is good, and that's something that we can actually use for making our own lighting. But then I take the modularization that I've done since 2005 of our power boards, our LED components we use, our optics that we use, and I'm able to quickly arrange them into that format if that's a desired bulb that I want. And all of that has to wrap together to, again, replace what we're trying to replace. Lastly, what I want to go over is what steps we go through when we're working on a project or trying to get a project. I don't just throw a standard template out there for the projects, and I won't let my team do that either. Part of what we have to do is every project deserves our attention. Every project deserves my staff. It deserves us being able to do it correctly. Our reputation at LA LED is paramount to me. It has to be one that we provide good customer service. It has to be one that we provide reliable products, and it has to be one that when we say we're going to do something, we do it. Now, by no means are we perfect on any of those, but I can tell you this, we are going to work to try and fix it if something does happen. The other thing that really bothers me is there's a lot of companies that are just importing products from overseas for the sake of throwing them out there, trying to make a quick buck, and then they're by design will go away. An instance of that is some of the street lights that are manufactured and sold to our U.S. government. The pricing model that the U.S. government has, at least in most of the bids that we see, is that it's typically lowest bid, and lowest bid leaves about $20 to $30 worth of profit on a couple $100 light fixture that goes onto a street light. I'm going to just give you the practical side from an installation company or from a manufacturing point of view. To make $20 or $30 on a street light that really cannot be maintained here because the pricing the government mandates requires all the metal and most of the work to be done overseas. To make $20 or $30, if one street light breaks, then that is it costs us the amount of the profit of 11 street lights to actually fix it. That's something that will ultimately put those companies out of business because it's simply an impossible thing to maintain when they start to break. Because the government mandates a 5-year warranty. At the price they're buying and the price they have been spending, it will not last 5 years. You're going to see, and the sad thing for me as manufacturers, it's going to label all LEDs at that instead of just what it really was. The government bought cheap stuff in order to keep buying cheap stuff. And it's got to be designed for the installation, whereas the government could spend around $40 to $60 more per street light and have something that will actually work the full 5 years of the warranty and then some. It's not much difference in price, but it is a difference in the way that the government has chosen to bid. Part of that reason for saying that is that I'm not interested in just building a company to hurry up and make a quick dollar to go away. This is something that I'm doing for the long term. It is something that I love. I thoroughly love putting new projects together. I thoroughly love lighting. I thoroughly love designing and engineering new products. And it's something that is a passion of mine. It has been, even in Acadian, my favorite thing to do is lighting control and designing lighting. And so part of that is I want to be here. I want to build lights that are going to last. They're going to work for a very, very long time. And then they're going to work well enough that you'll remember in 15 years when you have to buy another one to come back to me. And it's just what is important to me. I don't settle for anything less. I won't. I simply can't. I can't imagine just reselling a product or selling a product for the sake of getting some quick money and not thinking about tomorrow. And it scares me, how many companies are doing that in this country. And it's just not something we're going to do. Everything I do is based on the point of view of, will I have to buy it back? I don't want to buy things back. It's not profitable to buy back things because they break. So we have to engineer it appropriately on the front end so that we don't have to buy it back later and then you're mad, the customer's mad, possibly our distribution channel's mad, and then we're working on having to repair a product that we've already made a very small margin in the first place. So I hope that helps you choose LA LED. I wanted to give you some information based on where I'm coming from, what my point of view is, and what I'm working towards. I'm working towards building a company that can hire Americans, that can put us to work, that can provide good product for the rest of the country and the rest of the world, and it'll be a leader in the industry. I've been doing this since 2005, which was several years before most companies even started looking into LED lighting. I did. I was part of the original group that went in 2005 when I started. There was no actual LED bulb. It really didn't exist then. The green movement didn't happen until 2008. And so I spent a lot of time in 2005, 2008, 2009 trying to figure out what an LED light bulb would look like. And all that experience has helped me get to a point where I believe we have some of the best products that are out there on the market today. And we'll continue to push the envelope and be even more and more cutting edge. Thank you.